So aside from cutting down on social media, what other advice would you give to people that want to improve their mental health, and as well as checking out your app, of course? But what else should people be doing?
Talk. Yeah. You know, it's an old wives' tale. Problem shared is a problem halved, right? I still stand by that, absolutely. It's, first of all, don't be afraid to speak. You know, the chances are whoever you talk to is probably going through something similar. 1 in 2 of us will have a mental health challenge this year. It's half of the population.
2 of us here right now.
It's 2 of us here right now, right? Exactly.
Who's it going to be?
So now I'm pretty stressed at the moment, so probably quite anxious.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, you know, it's the chances are that people next to you, you know, will understand what you're going through. Your friends will understand. Yeah. Maybe they've already shared with you, maybe they haven't. Your family will understand as well. So don't be afraid to speak to somebody. There's always somebody that will listen. Yeah. Even if you don't feel comfortable talking to someone that you know, talk to someone you don't know. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of charities out there that are absolutely amazing. There are platforms like InsideOut. You don't have to wait months, if not years, on the NHS. There are alternative ways to access support. So I would absolutely suggest you have a look at those. So aside from talking to somebody, exercise is a really, really great booster. And anyone that knows me well will know how addicted I am to exercise. And it's my coping mechanism. For many reasons. One, it's a stress release. So going into that environment, I see my friends. I've built a friendship group. I've built a community in the gym. Yeah. So I'm getting that power of connection. I'm getting to laugh and joke around with my friends, which lifts my mood without even having done any exercise. And then I feel a belonging because I feel a part of something. Yeah. I get that enjoyment factor. Then there's the actual exercises. So we know that exercising 4 to 5 times a week for 30 plus minutes at a pace where you can just about hold a conversation, but it's difficult to do so. So you don't need to be dead on your back, you know, struggling to breathe, but just moderate intensity exercise. That gets the feel-good hormones going. The endorphins, it increases the serotonin, it reduces the cortisol, the bad hormone, the stress hormone. We know, and adrenaline, also a negative hormone. Strength training is also proven to have the same benefits. And in fact, performing 2 to 3 sessions a week of strength training can improve cognitive function in later life. So the brain is fluffy. The brain is a fluffy mass. And when we do things like drink alcohol, smoke, take drugs, under chronic stress for a prolonged period of time, our fluffy brain mass shrinks. And therefore our cognitive function declines. But even if we have been drinking to excess or smoking, you know, it's not too late to stop. And actually the positive is it's all reversible. And so by exercising, we can start to increase the fluffiness of our brain again, which in turn will help with preventing the onset of Alzheimer's and dementia in later life. Yeah. So they've got all those types of things, being outside in nature, getting vitamin D, getting natural sunlight, breath work, meditations, painting, drawing, lots of different things, and journaling's really good. If you don't feel comfortable talking to someone, get it down on paper.
Yeah, there were a couple of things you said there which I definitely agree with. The talking to people, I find that people often can find that really, really hard and they kind of bottle it up. One of the most I can't remember where I heard this, but one of the most powerful questions I heard somebody say was like, oh, hey Laura, how are you? But how are you really? Something like, it was along those lines, and it was so disarming. It was like, oh, I feel like I can share all my feelings, right? So I definitely agree with the talking piece. And you mentioned around exercise. A few years ago on the Silicon Roundabout podcast, you said that the more that you exercise, the better you feel. And I can certainly testify to that firsthand. I do 30 minutes every morning, walk the dog, and then it sounds like very cliche, but then I take a cold shower. And it's almost impossible for me to feel sad after doing that, because my body it's such a state of it's like vibrating. It's like exciting, you know. And I feel like if I wasn't doing that, it would be so easy just to fall into a slump sometimes, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, 100%, it really does. I mean, there's a few things in that. So waking up, going straight to your desk and drinking coffee, really, really, really not healthy. Like alarm bells are going off, you know, get outside, clear the head, go for a walk.
Sunlight
exactly.
In the eyes. Yeah.
So
I sound like Huberman right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exercise, it helps to kind of flush through the body as well, gets things moving.
Yeah. So how do you fuel it properly?
So fueling your body properly is really important for our mental health. Eating junk food increases sugar levels. It can cause those mood swings, the dips throughout the course of the day. It can make us feel tired, therefore we eat more junk food, and it's a cyclical cycle. And then when we're in that state, we see the onset of depression coming in quite aggressively with some individuals. So eating a balanced diet, it's not rocket science, but drinking 3 to 4 litres of water a day can actually help with cognitive function. If we're dehydrated, our ability to perform basic tasks can sometimes become impaired. So whilst you might think you're getting water in your tea and your coffee, there's still diuretics. So having 3 to 4 litres of water a day, definitely. Eating a colourful meal. Have a colourful plate.
Greens and
reds and oranges and yellows and purples, all the different food types. And people will say to me, well, I'm not eating carbohydrates because I want to lose weight. Okay, shock horror. Carbohydrates are not your enemy. They're an important source of fuel. But eating processed carbohydrates, can cause the sugar spikes, which then lead to our dips in mood and so on, which has been proven. So having a balanced diet, getting enough protein in your diet, getting enough natural carbohydrates, fruit and vegetables. Have treats by all means. I love Jaffa cakes.
Yes, who doesn't? I love Jaffa cakes. Yeah,
they're my favourite, but it's all it's all within moderation.
Yeah. So you're saying that the secret to strong mental health is a very holistic approach of everything from having a great diet to exercising to surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people to getting rid of all the depressive external sources that can interfere with your mind and your mindset, and just keeping it consistent, doing it on a regular basis and not trying to, falling off the horse.
Yeah, and then the other pillar that we've not mentioned is sleep.
Of course.
Yeah, just getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, it makes a world of difference.
That's what I need, yeah. Yeah.
So having a room that is well ventilated, blackout blinds in summer, they're a must for me. Earplugs in London, it's a busy, noisy place, again, a must for me. No blue light before you go to bed for at least an hour or so, because then that kind of gets the brain triggered and all fired up and all the synapses going, and find it difficult to then either fall or stay asleep throughout the course of the night. Yes. So there are lots of things that you can do to improve your sleep, but sleep is so important for our mood, and we know that when we're tired we get agitated, we get angry, we get stressed, we feel worse about ourselves. Depression can kick in, but also you have the chronic implications of insomnia on our physical health as well. The body will start to deteriorate over time if we're not getting enough sleep.
I've just started using blackout blinds, and they're almost too good, because for the first time ever I've been sleeping through my alarm. but they work. They're really powerful.
They are. When it's getting light of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, they're an absolute godsend. In fact, I'm going to Glastonbury in a few weeks, and I've just bought a new tent. I have one, but it's blackout. It's a blackout tent. So excited.
I love that. Let's finish with this. A few years ago on Instagram, you posted a quote, which I really liked. It said, "Stick to the facts and focus on what you can control." Stick to the facts and focus on what you can control. I think it's a good summary here, because everything that you've talked about has been very much based in science, based in evidence, based in study, and you built your platform, your business around those key concepts, right? When you posted that, it was a couple of years ago, but where were you coming at? What are your thoughts? Why should people stick to the facts and focus on what they can control? Why is that key?
There's a few things. I think when I posted that, we were coming out the back of the pandemic, and I think everyone's getting very anxious around the pandemic, and seemingly we were being told what to do, when to do it, when we could go outside, who we could see, and that was causing a lot of people to feel anxious, depressed, and so on. Then inevitably there have been world events like the wars and so on as well. So I kind of was coming at this from multiple different angles. One was around there are big world events going on right now. There's a lot of fake news around it. So listen to what's true and focus on the truth, and try not to get distracted with noise that's happening elsewhere. Our brains can trick us. They can lead us into thinking negative thought patterns, and we can make up our own narrative around stories. So let me come up with a scenario here. Let's use a relationship scenario here, right? You've not heard from someone that you're really, really keen on, and you've been texting all of a sudden, and you've not heard from them for a period of time with no explanation. ghosting, it happens very commonly in today's world, unfortunately. So your mind automatically goes into that space of, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough or good looking enough, they've met someone else, I'm not worthy of their attention, I don't deserve them anyway, I deserve to be treated like this because that's what I know, because this has happened to me before. So all of these negative things, and then our brain clamps onto these negative thoughts and won't let them go, because it's so easy for us to believe it that we go, oh, well, that must be true. And then we add to that of, okay, no, I'm definitely not worthy enough because look at me, look at myself in the mirror. I don't have the body shape I want, so therefore, why would this person date me? All these different things. And then we can say, oh, this person may have more money, they might be more fun than me, they might have a better friendship group than me. And you start layering and layering and layering up, and all of a sudden, you've spiraled yourself into the depths of depression based on somebody you might have spoken to a couple of times, you may have been on 1 or 2 dates with.
False assumptions.
Yeah, and it turns out,
that rabbit hole.
Exactly, and it turns out that they've just been busy at work, or they've been travelling, or something's come up, and none of that is true at all. So what I would always say is question the facts. So hold on to the facts. What do you know? You know that they like you because they've been messaging you. You may or may not have met up with them already. You had a good time with them. There's been no indication that they wouldn't get back in touch with you. So hold on to that, hold on to the positives. So it's about rewiring our brains to focus on what we know and the facts, rather than letting ourselves spiral into our own narratives that is based on information that we've made up to plug the gaps in the information that we have. What
we can control as well, it's so key, right? Because you can't control what somebody is doing in their own time. You can only control what you do, what you think, what you act. And yes, there's war going on, there's all these terrible situations in the world, but don't get too caught up into it, because ultimately you're not going to be able to solve those issues. You're going to be able to solve your issues and your problems, and
And ultimately, you are the most important person in the room. Yes. You are the person that loves you the most. Yeah. So hold on to that. You are amazing. You have amazing friends around you. You have friends and family that love you, I'm sure. You are good at what you do. Yeah. Hold on to all the positive things. And if you can't think of any, write them down. Journal, gratitude. 3 times, write down 3 times, sorry, I can't speak. Write down 3 things a day that you're grateful for, and those positive energies and that positive thought process will start to come back again.
I use gratitude lists every day. I usually just do one thing. I used to do 3, but I just do one, and I really, really focus on it for a couple of minutes. And it's like such an instant mindset shift. I just instantly feel positive afterwards. So
I take a picture of something I'm grateful for every day,
that's
and
cool,
then make a log of it, which is really nice. And then a little affirmation.
Yeah, I've seen people do that with like really basic things, like I don't know, like a leaf or a flower, or like some fruit or something, like rather than like your watch or something, right? And I find it works really well.
Yeah.